Testing. Hey, there's my voice. Can you hear me? Oh dear brother. I can't hear you. Let me try to fix that. Ladies and gentlemen, this stream is only starting again. After a brief explosion of my life. So today's stream will be a little rougher around the edges than usual as we work out the new kinks in the old setup. Still cannot hear you, brother man, but let's see what we can do. Talk to me, please.
What's up? What's up?
Nothing. Test, test.
Mm.
Test, test.
Mm.
I am getting audio from you. I'm just not able to
What?
hear. Or it is going somewhere most unknown.
Sorry, what?
I think I got you there.
Mm. Can you hear me now?
Still nada. God, technology. Doing their very best. Let's work to fix that. Test.
Mm.
Bloody hell.
Nothing? Mm. Nothing?
Studio. Whisper Studio.
Hmm.
Now I can hear you.
Yeah, but I can hear myself too.
Yeah, but that is much easier to fix. Simply listen softer, talk louder. The other way around. How about now?
Hello? Yeah, that's gone. All right.
Got it. Well, I'm gonna be entirely honest. I don't want to make you feel bad, but it's not being our best time. So if I don't have my two other fuckers in the span of the next 10 minutes, and I don't want you to give them a reminder, I'll be canceling just out of sheer pee and play some fucking handbags. And to the audience and anybody fucking watches this on YouTube afterwards, it's entirely unlikely. Hi, this is your same old game master, except my life exploded. So I'm now doing this from my parents' house. Therefore, I have become rather uncharitable. But that's life, innit?
Well, Rick is probably aware of that time, but the thing is, you moved the schedule 1 hour for us.
Did I make a new change today? We said 2 hours earlier.
When did we say that?
Last time.
I don't remember.
Well, ain't that something? Here's our
Yo.
beautiful man. God damn, he's got a new fresh haircut and everything. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It was about time.
Let's fix his audio now.
Wait, I haven't listened. I have to.
All
What do you
right.
mean by the
You're
welcome?
set up
I
correctly.
fucker,
So you're
I
probably
did
gonna
my
get my
hair in December.
Did you?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
hey, he's got the same settings as you. So
No, no, we're talking about different things. You're talking about his audio. I'm talking about his hair.
I'm seeing a handsome new fade on the side of his face.
The thing is, that he said that he also cut his hair in December, but I don't remember that. Anyway, Rick,
Yeesh.
try to lower your microphone volume. It's a bit high.
It's high.
What do
Okay,
you
that's the
mean?
problem with
Oh, there he is.
the studio cheat on the in
May
the
have a little bit
video
of
broadcast.
gate. Brain. Now I can't
Is
hear
this
him.
better?
Yeah, for me it's better.
Man, I want my money back. Fucking Streamlabs.
Yeah, I had to
There.
do my hair cut my hair today because I'm inviting people to watch the stream. Even though they already know how I looks like.
Oh dear.
Um,
Don't say that. We're only just coming back from the recent explosion of my life. I'm not sure how much quality I'll be able to give you today. Hopefully
ah,
enough.
yeah, don't worry about that. Your games is always good, so you are
Uh,
safe.
Whether you mean that or not, I am happy to hear it. Now, we're just awaiting our last member of the party, who hopefully should be with us soon.
And if all else fails, we go spread managed democracy, to which
Holy, I mean,
I would
anyways.
like to let you know we have a new strand of Terminids,
Oh yeah,
the
I was fighting them
Predators.
this morning. I was a lot of
They
fun.
are a nightmare.
Holy shit, yes. They're actual pain. But hey, I got myself that new war bond with the pocket nuke, which I still haven't bought. But what I did buy was the new sickle, the new laser
Mm.
rifle, and I had enough super credits left over. because on the Superstore there was I didn't want to spend 1,000 on the war bond that gives you the 75% fire resistance armor, but there was a 75% resistance armor on the Superstore today for 100 credits, so I got that one. So fuck it, you know. And it's a really, really, really fun rifle. Turns out the only thing more dangerous than a Helldiver with a pocket nuke is a Helldiver with burn cream.
Yeah.
It's good shit. All right, folks, I'm gonna poke our last party member. I'll set up the starting soon screen, which means your audio won't be coming out. We'll give it a 10-minute grace period, and if not, we'll go spread some democracy. Now, as a rare treat, I have actually done the prep for this session. Even my ADHD ass wanted to play a good game. But the beautiful thing about prep is that, unlike in a kitchen, my monsters don't go out of date. Also, for those not watching, this is a little bit of background talk. The latest episode of Hunter the Parenting is out. Now, I won't spoil it, but I will say Vicar Amelia was already one of my stat blocks. Even more so now. That's all I'll say about that. So, see you all in Meet O'Clock. Have you ever used a Meet Watch? They're the best. And I'll be back shortly. Dear Lord, our third man has arrived, but thank God I wasn't showing him on screen just then. I don't think any of our fans, if we have any, could have handled the cake. So, I'm not going to put on studio mode to see if you're sitting down, because if I do, Streamlabs is likely to die on us. Therefore, I'm just going to hit the role-playing screen and may it be whatever God desires. Aha. Aha.
47.
Hello. Hello, hello, hello. We are here. Alright, folks. Let's just allow our man to be back on screen, and we shall begin. Okay. Let's put some music on. A little bit too loud for my tastes.
Okay, I finally adjusted Murakami level 6. I thought I had the updated cheat, but I didn't. It's kind of loud.
Not the music, but there is like a.
But yeah, it's not the music. It's like there was kind of market going on.
How about now? Is that a bit more bearable?
No,
No,
put
the
the
music was great.
back where it was.
The music was great.
Someone had background noise somewhere. Not sure where.
Yeah.
Oh, that might have been me when I went outside. If I
No, just now.
Oh, a wizard did it. If you don't know the answer, that's usually a good one when playing these games.
There is this
No,
again.
Probably it's our wizard who did it.
Oh dear. If you see the image that he has just posted on the screen, you can understand both the lateness and the sound. Holy shit, that looks like a cut of meat. Not to be like Adam Smasher here, but I'd smash that. In the meantime, while we await the arrival of our wizard, what do you say, Murakami? We take up with you. You are flying.
Yeah.
A very wise maneuver. Perhaps the only one that was available to you in order to escape whatever the fuck those were. They looked vaguely like dogs, except as drawn by Tim Burton, perhaps. One row of serrated, pointed teeth, 3 rows of double golden eyes on each side of their heads, and the ability to move within shadows and through angles. The name Tindalos resounding in your ears, whatever that's supposed to mean. But as you fly above the jungle, which now becomes familiar to you, you realize you are back in the immediacies of your settlement. It is a bright noonday. You traveled a distance that took a month in the span of a morning through the shadows. Talk about light speed, huh? Now, there isn't anything to be particularly remarked. From up here, everything looks as it's supposed to. Where do you head? O shadow-bound warrior.
I think just to remember, if is please tell me if I'm wrong. I came here to find the fucking pigeon, right? To
The
get him
fucking
back,
pigeon. That's right. You had
to
to
get him
leave
back to
because
the.
there was a limit to the amount of things that you were able to carry with you on a perilous trip. But if that's your goal, then there's no time to waste. I assume you flight straight as an arrow towards what from this distance looks just like a spatter of red in the air, but which you know to be your town. Your wings, formed as they are of your own essence, are strong and carry you over without anything to worry. But just in case, please roll me a perception check.
Oh, this sucks. That's a thing with the bonus.
Nothing looks out of place. It's a wonderful, beautiful day. It would be.
Even with my passive perception of 18.
Holy shit, your passive is 18. Well, we'll
Yeah.
say that. With an 18, you're actually not able to miss it. Not that you've spent a lot of time above the treetops, but you can tell that there has been one more change since last time reset. There are now what look to be empty spots, a few more clearings than usual among the trees in the direction of the village. Almost as if, lack of a better term, somebody had stepped on top of them. With the exception that they're all perfectly circular. You can't really tell what's in them, but it's not flattened ground. There is something growing where there were once trees. You arrive.
Can I
Yes,
hover around some of the clears
absolutely.
without
As you
losing my direction?
absolutely. By simply dropping a little bit in your elevation, you're able to take a look at what is growing in these empty spaces. And, well, it's mushrooms. There seemed to be a riotous profusion of many different mushroom species growing in these spots. There's chicken of the woods, there's stool caps, there's a whole host of species that you really can't make out, but know for a fucking fact that they don't usually grow that close together. Hell, half of these things shouldn't even be growing in this kind of climate. But other than that, no stench of corruption.
Do they looks any mushroom like that looks like the one that punched me fly and sent me flying me over the
None
last
at
time?
all. None at all. These look entirely like edible varieties. Almost as if somebody had dropped a little bomb of spores in specific or random places and they just grew.
So it could be a trap to get more praise for something bigger.
Could be the
Because if
case.
it looks edible, it probably will attract someone with hunger.
Not a bad thought. But without spending more time to sit down and take a look at them, your flight
Then
path
I won't.
takes you to the village. And as you arrive, you notice a few of the new changes. A few more structures, a few more well-defined channels on the ground where paths will be grown. It's kind of strange, but every time time resets, it's as if someone has done about a month's worth of city planning. In that sense, it's interesting. You may not want to die all of the times it's going to take to see the city fully built, but when you touch down on the ground, you're actually greeted by a different smell. Smell being such a strong component of life out here. It is the smell of a complex dish. Somebody has built a kitchen. You see
Oh,
that not too far from where the barracks that you and your friends usually occupy, there is now a squat building made entirely out of jade stone. from which the most delightful aroma is coming out, and the sound of hard workers hard at rest. Other than that, nobody comes out to meet you.
Okay, I will go to check that because I'm probably with a lot of hungry right now. I'm probably hungry right
Yes.
now because the travel was it was fast, but by the end it was a lot of stress. Even if I deal with them easily, that was stressful.
As you say that, you notice one thing. Jin hasn't taken corporeal form to talk to you. You get the sense that, yeah, you spent a lot of energy, but so did he. He's just smaller, younger. Good meal wouldn't hurt. You go across the threshold and find all of your friends, or at least most of the people that you've been knowing here for this time. There's the group of legionnaires off to the side enjoying something that you know already is hot chocolate and alcoholized chocolate. Master Otter is nowhere to be seen, but you do notice the person you came to meet. Corpalomes, the pigeon elf, is wearing a apron that says "Kiss the Cook" as he stares a enormous pot, and he's in the middle of some story that is making everybody laugh as he goes, and that's how I lost my medical license. But you never fucking had one. That's not the point. Shit, you're back early. What happened?
You guys are having a good time here, right? That's good to see.
Hell yeah, man, says one of the legionnaires. Turns out this fucking pigeon can cook. He's making us
Well?
mushroom stew.
He's making mushrooms.
Yeah, there's a bunch of that stuff growing around camp. Now you have to get them fast,
Yeah.
or some of them will bite you. Not that you would have a problem with it, but I'm fat. He looks nervous.
I smile, but I just show him a smirk, not a smile, a smirk, because I noticed that he's laughing like he's nervous laughing,
Hey,
so
you
I
wanna
just
have-
smirk.
You wanna try? You wanna have some of this stuff?
Yeah. Let's have some of that together
He
and
hands
talk a
you-
little bit.
He gives you a bowl carved out of wood, and he puts in a heaping helpful of the stuff. And to be quite frank, it smells delicious. It's a soup of many ingredients. He hands it to you, puts a little spoon in there, and goes, "Hey, try it."
Okay. I try to call Jean so he can eat as well.
He reforms around your shoulders, but instead of lightly sort of hovering around you, it's like you're wearing him like an old scarf, because he's definitely tired. And he goes, "It smells good.
Yeah, don't worry, buddy.
tasty."
We're going to get a lot of that. You need all the love we can get today.
You have a drink?
Yeah. I tried.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw, please. Difficulty 17.
A what? Constitution?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yes, sir.
Difficulty what?
17.
Well, that's a 16. Damn it.
Listen, man, it goes down, it tastes deeply rich, it goes down into your stomach, you feel warm, you feel happy, not in like any particularly magical way, it's good food. When you take a look at the pigeon, man, I don't know, just doesn't seem like that bad a guy. He says, well, Mr. Otter's out there trying to build the snake lady a habitat. You know she's fucking weird, right? Snakes don't become people. No offense.
You're not the one to say that.
Oh, what you mean? Just because I'm a pigeon? No, man. It's
No, come on, man.
it's just reptiles. You know, they eat your eggs. They're lonely. They,
Reptiles are lowly.
I mean, again, no insults.
Reptiles are lowly.
Lonely, lowly.
Ah, yeah, man. I get that a lot.
It's just you know, it smells kind of weird. But truth is, if I hadn't seen her myself, if you told me that she had become a person, I wouldn't have believed you. As far as we know, there's only ever been one to do that, and it was the Empress that did it to her. So it's weirdness. Old Lady Boa herself. White Snake.
Yeah.
Did that one. So
I don't understand all of that, but I get the point. Don't worry.
So listen, like, why are you here?
Oh, do I just need to ask before answering that because you said that he feels like friendly to me right now.
Yes.
Uh, does that mean that I will ask him to go with me instead of grabbing him if he doesn't want to leave? That friendly?
Maybe friendly in the sense that if he didn't want to go, you would have to make an effort to ask him twice.
Okay. Okay. Oh, well, getting back to the thing. Yeah, I came to take you over with me because we need you over there.
Oh, hey, I know I said, you know, take me home and whatnot, but, you know, I don't really want to. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure that it'd be the best place for me. I'm having a good time here. Everybody's
Come
nice.
on, man. We just go in there, you meet your friend, go to your house, get some stuff. We'll get back
You scaly
before the
fuck.
end of the. What?
He looks terrified now. He's terrified for some reason. He's definitely become aggressive.
Raise the volume of your microphone a bit.
He's become aggressive. He says, "Look here, you scaly fuck. I'm not going over to a." They tell me a little bird told me that the entire city is now under BOA control. That changes things. I'm not trying to
So
go
you
and get
already knew
executed.
that. Why would they execute me?
You ever hear of loose ends?
Ah, but you are with us. Don't worry. We're going to protect you. Even I going to protect you.
Okay, roll me a charisma check.
Oh, I have. That's 8 plus 1 plus 2 is 3. 11.
He gives you a very reticent look and says, "Hey, you know, it's why don't we just I mean, look, we've all died before, right?
Yeah.
Of all the ways that it could happen, it doesn't. If I am going to die again, I don't want to do it in a painful manner. I'd rather just, like last time, where it was sudden. I don't want to go.
Don't worry, you won't die again. Why would you die again? I wouldn't go there with you if you were to die again.
Hey, hey! One of the legionnaires behind you stands up and goes, "What? No, you don't take our chef." Don't take the chef with you. What are you saying? No. Where are you going?
Yeah, I
Who
have
are
to
you?
take the chef.
Who are you?
I am Murakan. Who are you?
As you look at the Legionnaire who you have met before, you realize that there's kind of a dazed look to his eyes, almost as if he's not fully present there.
Hmm. Can I roll again?
What do you wish to roll?
I want to try to force my perception of things right now because
I'll tell
I'm
you
being
this.
friendly with this guy.
With your perception being so high and having failed the previous roll by not a lot, you are aware that there is something wrong. Instead, why don't you give me an investigation check?
Okay. Thanks God, that's the only one that have plus something here. That's a 17.
You put it together quite quickly. This fucker doesn't only know about poisons, he definitely knows about psychoactives. There was something in that soup. Maybe not necessarily mind control, but maybe something to make you more amenable to the man's suggestions. But it seems that your Legionnaire friends were just not so resistant to it. You realize now that you are in a small enclosed building with a man that is terrified out of the idea of being tortured to death and the unwitting soldiers that he has made into good friends, perhaps against their will. Things are a little tense. You think to yourself, I better play this one carefully.
You know what? You're right. I should talk things out first. I can take the chef from everyone.
Yeah,
But
that's
where
right.
is how is the fat guy name?
Otter.
Corpalomus. Or you can call me
No,
Lomi.
the other guy. Otter.
Otter.
Where is Otter? I think I should discuss this with him, so he can send me someone else instead of chef.
Pigeon says, "Oh yeah, Otter is with the snake girl over by the seaside. He's building her something." With an 18 passive perception, you can tell that what he has told you is true. What he intends to happen is for you to turn your back.
Hmm. Well, why don't we go to talk with Otter? Since you want to stay, and I need someone to leave.
Oh, I gotta keep working on the
I
soup,
spit.
man.
I'm going to spend a breath use to spit inside the pot.
Oh, very clever. You let out a carefully placed stream of acid into the soup, and immediately the smell of it changes and becomes something burnt and disgusting. And the Legionnaires protest. They go, "Oh fuck, man, it's ruined. It was such a good hot pot. Why would you do that? Fuck."
Oh
Go
man,
to
I'm
the old
sorry. It's just too good. My saliva just dropped.
with his high perception. Palomas gets what you're doing and goes, don't worry, boys. I can make more later. We're gonna go and talk to the architect now. I gotta figure this out. Come on, move. I'm behind you.
Move besides me, and I grab him. Let's catch up, my friend. We need a lot of things to talk.
Yes, yes, we do. What are you fucking doing? What are you fucking doing? You walk out of the
Walk.
building, leaving the ensorcelled legionnaires behind, enjoying the rest of their psychoactive food. Okay, listen, but I mean, what I'm
Shut
gonna
the
do,
fuck
just
up and just talk when I tell you, or I'm going to melt your skull. And you know there is people over there when we need you to stay that can rebuild it and torture you
uh,
to death again.
uh, uh, hey, uh. He shuts up.
Great.
Okay.
Now, where is Otter?
You are able to find them by the noise. The noise being made is the sound of tools striking stone, and effectively, as you follow it, you reach not quite the seaside, but the top of the promontory where the hill down to the Black Pyramid would start. You see that Mr. Otter has in fact started building another house. This one he clearly didn't have enough blood for, so much of it is still just a couple of logs stuck in place. But it's different from the other ones in that you see that he has created tubes that go between where the walls are going to be, such that, its occupant can rest in either of the forms that she prefers. Speaking of that person, she is further away, down at the base of the hill where the pyramid would be. You can see her coiled around the branches of Turtle, who is waiting patiently at the base of the pyramid.
So her parents are still up there, for what I can assume.
Indeed. Otter looks at you, and you see that he's back to his what you would call his standard form, free of all of the blood that he carried in order to come here, and he is busy hammering away at pieces of green jade stone in different states of drying, sort of making what you think will eventually be the floating base of the building. And he says, "Oh,
Okay.
you're back early. Did you feed
Yeah,
him any of that
I get.
mushroom soup, you disgusting pigeon?"
Oh, you already noticed that. That saved a lot of words.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Thus,
wouldn't let
I
him.
don't know if that have anything to do, but there is a lot of clears with weird ass looking uh, mushrooms growing around the camp. So if you have the chance, send someone to scout the area, but it's
Uh,
weird.
Not interested. And I'll tell you why. I've been having nightmares.
You've been having nightmares.
Yep. Everybody, well, not everybody, I think just me and the pigeon, we've been having some weird dreams. It's like, have you ever had someone whisper to you from the other side of a room? It's like that. I'm somewhere dark and cool, and somebody is repeating words at me. I've had
What
the
are they
nightmares.
saying?
Wish I could tell you, but it's never loud enough to quite make it. Anyways, a couple of days, a day after we started having them, those mushrooms sprouted around everywhere. Best I can tell, they correlate to the channels of water that your old companion made, Mr. Nasser of the Weird Mothers. They
Okay,
must be feeding off of the spiritual energy on top of detritus.
that's a problem.
Hard to say. They make good food, though. Anyways,
Yeah, if there
no,
is no fucking weirdo doing shit with the food, probably it will be a really good food. Right?
oh, come on. The soup was good. And to be frank, it was tasty. It would have been better without the psychoactives in it.
That's what I'm saying. The food, the soup is good. Your weird shit is not. That's what I'm taking you with me right now. I need this motherfucker, so I came to grab him.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
How are we going to wait? How did you get back here? And it's been a month. Did you turn back halfway through?
no. I went to there and came back. I'm just that good. That's the only thing you need to know.
Oh, shadow sleeve bullshit. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I hope you have your little blanket for your dark fears because we're going to spend a lot of time traveling.
Otter says, gonna give you a tip. You're not supposed to do
Sure.
this because it's very, very rude to do to someone you like, but bird person, he grabs a piece of cloth, not from his clothing, but just from some of the stuff around camp. And he very quickly makes a very shitty hood and puts it on top of Corporal Omis's head. He struggles for like 2 or 3 seconds, and then all of a sudden is deeply asleep and snoring. Birds. They can't tell daytime from nighttime, but they can tell light from dark. Don't ever
Okay.
don't ever do that to a policeman. It carries an aggravated charge. Okay? But
I
right
gotta
now,
say, you're a
it's fine.
genius, man. Thank you. Yeah. The only problem I have now is how I will have to carry these 3 tons motherfucker. But well, in the Underdark, that won't be a problem, I guess. I just need to recover some energy and help Jeans to recover as well.
You look
I
frazzled,
was
mate. Did something happen on the way here?
I met some weird creatures that were traveling in the shadows as well. They were like traveling from angles and weird shit inside the Underdark.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not an expert on that, but before you go, you might want to consult with our other bird-headed friend. You know, the ghost.
Yeah. I plan to talk with others about that because I never saw that shit. I know I'm not from here, but at least from around here, I seen a lot of weird shit already, and that shit was with the weirdest thing I found.
Welcome to life. Shit's weird. You gotta love it.
Yeah, well, whatever. Uh, Let me ask you something. She's still waiting for her parents.
Yeah, they haven't
It's
come
been
out.
a it's been
It's
a
been a
long time
month.
already. Yeah,
It's been over a month. I'm starting to think they're not going to come out.
that was worries me.
Now, I haven't gone in there, but
I could try, but I need to recover first, and probably she won't stay there if she sees someone's trying to enter. I cannot protect her.
seems fair enough. She hasn't expressed any desire to go in on her own, so... Oh, by the way, we found the raccoon. Remember that guy?
Where? Yeah.
Yeah, we found him where you said he would be, half drowned in one of the puddles not too far from here, one of the little lakes. He's also down by the tree roots, so you go and talk to old Horace, Ghost. Might as well talk to him too.
Okay.
Now,
Thank you.
before we continue here with Murakami, let us now jump a few hundred miles eastward towards the city of Tenki, where, during the last session, our players were ambushed. We are currently on a platform in the sky, about, well, call it 400 feet up, chest level, with a gigantic gorilla statue that makes up one side of the city. And there are corpses everywhere. It's not your fault, not really. It was one of the assassins casting a cone of cold upon the party without caring for collateral. But now that the battle is over and the fireballs that sent them away have vanished into thin air, only the sad silence of cooling bodies remains as Ozar and, the wizard and the Lady Tlass walk out of the dome of spikes that Amadeus made to protect them. Oh, God. She looks around and her eyes go super wide. Ozar is quiet. He's just scanning the area for threats. The third person, the smaller gnome who was apparently part of their party, steps out and goes, "Oh, shit. Oh, God.
Part of whose party? What of the killers?
What the fuck are we gonna do? Zorok Amadeus. It is a bright noonday, and as the silence of the battle settles, you can hear cries far away as somebody takes notice of what just happened. The battle was swift and furious. It lasted 2 rounds, less than 10 seconds in total. But apart from the 3 of your enemies, of which you know 2 are dead, a score of civilians lie on the ground. Most of them wearing the regular clothing of helots, caught in the blast. All of a sudden, you can hear a sound not too far of boots marching in unison, getting closer.
Okay, before they get too close, I start marching to what little remains of the assassins. See if I can, I stumble because I'm still drunk as fuck. So I reach their remains. I try to bend over. Nope.
So out of 3 assassins, you know that you got 2. One of the bodies is still here. It looks like an elf, which is much to say. It looks like a person with some vaguely canine features and elongated ears with black tufts of hair. You all of a sudden remember the 3 dogs that passed you by as you were going through the city a couple of days ago. It seems they had your number from a while back. There's nothing too distinctive on them. They're not wearing the clothes of helots, but neither are they wearing any distinctive bands. So they don't seem to belong to anyone. But
of course not. They want to go undetected, and if caught, unidentified.
But you do see one thing hanging from one of their, or rather from the one dead one's body. You see a little bag emitting a powerful smell of blood, which you know what that is. It's dyes of royal blood. As you look inside, you see, there's a few dice in there. Not a lot. 2 or 3.
Okay, so I'm gonna kneel in front of it, and that Witcher analysis that Geralt does.
Yeah.
Try to run a little bit of forensics. Not so much of how it died. I know how the motherfucker died. Just what am I dealing with besides just dog person, no markings, no nothing, and blood dice.
Well, different rolls will give you different things. You can try to roll an investigation check, a medicine check, or just a base perception.
I'll go for investigation. It's a 12 plus 1, so it's a 13.
12 plus 1. A 13 doesn't...
Wait. I have the ability to use second wind to add bonus, but I don't know if that's just for attack.
I'll say, I believe that's specifically for attacks or for physical exertion, as if you were trying to lift a boulder up a hill or something. I'm afraid for this, but I'll say this. I'll allow you to spend your second wind in order to stop being drunk and be able to roll any mental checks without disadvantage.
Okay.
The deepest breath of your life, and remembering Blood Jaguar and his beating heart, you just imagine a deep heat inside of you. You know this to be your own power, but you kind of get it. You make your body go fast and do it all quickly, and you sober up enough to think. The boots get louder.
When I see what he's doing, I go to him and say, "Listen, we gotta go. What did you find?"
A roll.
Hang on.
Oh, is that 13 plus 1, you told me, right?
All right. No, it's not better.
Unfortunately, you can't tell much. These guys were assassins, clearly. You don't speak their language, But they did look very surprised to meet the harsh resistance that they did.
Okay,
Just
so
like-
I turn to Amadeus and say, no point in running.
Okay, I go with an
running,
investigation check.
Are you sure? Says Ozar. What are you saying? You can't tell them to run. There's just been a fight. More importantly, if we stay here, says the gnome, we will be accomplices. And then we will be late. We have a contract. They seem to be at odds ends. Ozar wants you guys to flee because he took a shining to you all. Class is kind of ambivalent. The other guy, who knows what he wants?
Where are we
Okay,
going to
I'm
run? We're
gonna-
on a platform.
Well, I'd say we owe them a service, lady. They did save your life. I don't think I could have.
Save that for later. I have 100 people that need traveling several hundred miles.
What do you mean 100 people? Says the little gnome.
Tell you about it once we solve this. But quick version. I have a clown box full of people that I need back in a certain place.
When you say the words clown box, all three of their eyes, like they all look at each other and they go, I don't care, you can explain to me later. But if you promise you will give that to us, we will work with you and we'll get you out of here.
Okay.
The whole box is full
well,
of people.
Yes, people who we serve.
Serve the...
Ozar.
Okay, let's go.
So,
you know what?
who is Amadeus, you're currently muted.
I'm
No,
not
it's
muted,
not.
man.
I can't hear him at all. It's the usual thing.
I've been talking. I am talking.
Let's see.
Zero, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let me just reset your thingy here to see if I can't do the thing so I can hear you. There we go. Now I can hear you.
Okay, so the first thing I did when I got close to Zurok and I asked him, "What are you doing? We need to go." And I throw an investigation check.
Roll for it.
Okay, that's a 14 plus 8. That's a 22.
You're able to tell two things very quickly with that. The first one is that those blood dice smell different than the ones that you have been given before. And you're giving to think somebody else could tell you more with that piece of information, such as who made them and who gave them to the assassins. And also, you are able to view the exit, sort of the trajectory that the other two defeated assassins took. One of them fell into the ocean. Anybody's guess as to whether that was the wizard or the assassin brother, compared to the warrior who is now lying dead on the ground. But another one fell on the docks, low by the seaside. So you have one body, little evidence, but you might be able to get more evidence out of another one if you were to get him.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell the guys. Okay, so where can we meet later?
I don't think later is gonna do, lads. As you hear the bootsteps approaching.
Yeah, okay, no, but I'm asking because I can stop. Okay, it's a pause on the game. Because I can use polymorph to just disguise myself and go get the body and get more information and then meet you guys later.
Oh, well, we'll meet you underwater, says Ozar. That'll do. With that, a few things happen in a quick succession. Lady Class walks into the center of her water circle, and there is a moment where she kicks a spray of water up, and in the refraction of light given off by the droplets, instead of needing a shadow, there is all of a sudden a fucking humpback whale, a beautiful specimen, lightly floating off of the water where she was before. You'd see that she takes in the little gnome in her mouth, which he goes in with no protest. It seems to be something that they've done before. And Ozar grabs what looked to be a bunch of bags on the ground. You realize now is a gigantic saddlebag. He swings it over her, cinches it very quickly, and there is now space for a group of people on top of the lady. He gets on top of the whale and gives Zorok a hand up, as well as any other companions we're not mentioning right now. And
I say I'd rather go with the gnome.
Suit yourself. He swings you in, and it's not that the whale opens her mouth, but she has those bristly-like teeth, which, like, you feel as if you've gone through a car wash, and then you are inside of the whale's tongue, or rather.
And as I walk in, kind of stumbling, I go, I'd rather be in here than face straight lines that are gonna move weird.
The gnome says to you, smart choice. Less motion sickness in here. Amadeus, as you use polymorph, are you transforming into an animal? Are you transforming into something else?
You muted yourself now.
All right, so I want to look for clues, right? So would it be better to transform myself into a dog? I'm talking to the team. Like, what do you guys think? Maybe a dog will help me search better for clues or something? Or just a different version of myself? Like, I don't know. I can be a dwarf.
Turn yourself into an elf. Elves are common here. Elf.
All right.
Elves are common here.
Okay, I turn myself in.
So you
I turn myself into an elf.
Please
I walk into the crowd, and while I'm walking to the crowd, I turn myself into a different elf.
You quite simply disguise yourself as another person. Please roll me a stealth check with advantage as you try to disappear among the peoples. Because what you realize is that there is a large squad of legionnaires that has blocked the bridge back onto the rest of the city, and is now standing in their protected formation, shield to shield. And at their head is that old piece of shit that gave you sass when you got here, Sergeant Brutus.
It's a 14 plus 4. That's an 18.
I'm gonna make some rolls here. Not a bad result, but once the legionnaires stop moving, having completely closed the space, you hear the sound of wings and great birds moving through the sky as the Empire's winged policemen come to the scene.
Okay. I start walking to the direction where the body fell. Like, I'm not looking for anyone else or anything else. I'm just gonna go walk there. That direction.
Holy fuck. I'm sorry. It's just I have a curse. This probably makes me a good game master, but my NPCs are cursed. Like, you understand that I have two guys with eagle eyes flying above you and a squad of humans, and nobody rolled above a 10. Even with your I'm gonna take a piss. I'll be right back. I gotta be right fucking back.
Provecho, negro.
Él tiene la misma maldición que tenía Alejo con los monstruos grandes.
Alejo, Dragón Wyvern. Con una espada vorpal. 18 más o mueren. 1. Pifia. Y se caía sobre su propia espada. Eso sí, o sea.
Eso, o agarraba el bicho más mamotreto así, lo tiraba contra la parte, y mientras más arrecho fuese el monstruo, más rápido se moría.
Yo no me acuerdo si era Mario
marico,
o era otro pana que tenía todos los NPCs en vampiro se morían de ataque al corazón, en vampiro o en demonio. Era una vaina arrechísima, marico. El bicho era un NPC que iba a descubrirlos y les iba a poner la crónica patas para arriba porque él ya se iba a enterar y con él enterándose se iban a ver la mitad del pueblo. Y el bicho los vio, le hicieron bu y el pana 1. Te murió un ataque al corazón. Lo hizo, se pasaron, creo que fueron 1 o 2 temporadas de esa crónica con los bichos muriéndose de la nada, porque no aguantaba, los dados no le daban al Game Master.
Yo tenía un semidragón que llegó a ser el semidragón cromático por vainas de juego. Y ese bicho sí le decía, ponía a Alejo a pasar aceite, marico, porque yo no sé por qué, pero tenía una leche. Y él se arrechaba, marico, porque estaba haciendo enfrente suyo. Y de pronto una de las tantas fue uno de estos big monsters que él pone. Y vaina, entonces le agarra y dice, ok. Yo le digo, por ejemplo, mira, vuela, entonces yo vuelo, hago esto con la masa, tal, y qué sé yo, y le doy este golpe. Me dice, ok, si sacas tanto, y yo saco tanto, menos de tanto, lo mata de un solo coñazo. Plomo. El big level boss, marico, se lo mataba un solo pingazo. Una vez se lo hice y se quedó así, marico, y me dijo, marico, toda la crónica la tenía preparada en base a este modo y tú lo mataste en un golpe. Y de verdad, le podemos a retroceder el tiempo y no pasó. Ok, para que nos podamos divertir. Yeah. All right, sorry.
Lion, you're muted somehow.
It makes me happy to know that after the bullshit that he pulled on my Perturabo, that kind of stuff would happen to the old master as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
That we
Very well.
pulled on your Perturabo.
So, here is what happens. You hear the cry of hawks above you, and then the confusion, which is the same across every universe, of different ranks of police failing to find their person. With those moments of extra leeway, you stand on the edge of the platform and are able to track the fall of that body. You see where he fell. He seems to have fallen on the dock, so on top of being burnt, you can't imagine that there's going to be much left apart from bloody pudding. There might be some evidence. You're able to see something strange, though, which is what looks to be a number of glowing lines, very, very thin, almost as if you were seeing like a spider silk. And with your eye, you follow it, and look, there was people fishing on the docks. You've yet to see a single proper ship, apart from the one that the whale lady was pulling. But fishermen seem to exist here. And you do notice one other thing. This must be a massive person. Reborn are already big. They're sometimes able to tell you, people like you from afar, such as if you were to kill a meal among a group of people, it would be evident. What's funny is that this guy is maybe too high.
No, not yours.
Amadeus.
We're hearing the knife cutting through.
Really? I'm sorry.
It's all right. So what you see is that there is definitely a person who, much like old Master Temok, has to be a war form, a particularly elite warrior. And you notice him because he isn't walking down the steps or going through the different paths of the city. He is jumping from one platform above you, 100 feet down to another, then to another, then to another. And he's clearly making his way to the docks as well. If you want to go and get that evidence, it's going to be a race against this giant in a green and purple cloak.
You are still muted.
It's not gonna be a fucking race. What I'm gonna do my best Assassin's Creed dip you've ever seen. Okay. Right all the way down.
Leap of faith. Okay.
I'm gonna go with a fucking leap of faith, and I'm gonna stop like this close to the floor with featherfall. Yes.
I'll tell you this. You can jump, but you know for a fact that you're gonna pick up some goddamn speed. Even in your new form, you're gonna have to be very fast on your reflexes to not also smash yourself on the ground. So I'll allow you to do it, but you gotta roll me a dexterity saving throw, difficulty 20. Fail by more than 5, and it's gonna be a lot of falling damage, brother.
If I'm using featherfall, the spell.
If you're using featherfall, you're gonna go down so slowly that he'll be there first. If you want to,
that's what I'm saying.
If you want to activate it down at the bottom, so that you can do a leap of faith and then land, because you're gonna pick up so much speed, you have to tune your featherfall, and that's gonna take reflexes.
Okay, I'm gonna do it, but I want to do it that I look like super cool while I'm doing it.
I mean, ow, shit.
What do you?
Let's do something. Difficulty 20 to not take any damage. If you do roll it, I'll let you do a intimidation check using whatever stat you like, and that'll be your
Intimidation or performance?
call it performance, call it charisma. I'll allow you to pull it off so long as you don't smash your nose against the ground.
Okay, so is this with advantage, right?
Who said that?
I don't know. I'm just asking
I certainly
because
didn't.
I'm being cool.
I certainly didn't.
Okay, it's I got dexterity. It's what you said again? Dexterity, acrobatic. Okay, +4. So you said it was difficulty was a what?
20.
Okay, I got a 17 +4, which gives me a 21. I'm just gonna show it to you.
I think those dice are weight. I'm gonna have to make you do me a bon appetit. I'm gonna have to make you do me a fucking water glass test one of these days. So
I have no problem.
here's what happens. In very quick succession, the cries of the guard get stronger as the whale turns around as if she's on a disc. And for those who are inside, you feel a sudden, vigorous of thrust as she moves her massive tail and takes off into the sky. You can hear the whistling sound of what might be arrows heading in your direction. But of course, Zurok, you feel perfectly safe. Hello, Arepa Master. Welcome. Welcome back. We'll tell
Hello
you
there, mate.
what's happened to our show in a bit. So the Lady Branchia takes off in her whale form, arrows pinging off against some barrier that you're not able to see. Zurok, you are currently inside of her mouth along with Parchis, the gnome. Told you his name. And you realize that he's a bit of a nerd, but he's the money person of the group. He sort of takes care of the logistics. And as you're there, two things happen. One, the little girl form of Loki is thrust in as well, going, wee! Oh god, it's like a shower. I feel so clean. And lands next to you. And second, it's that all of a sudden, the whale's baleen, because that's what the teeth are called, go completely transparent, and you're able to see as if you were in a bubble of nacreous, like pearlescent energy. It's a
I turn around. I just go, nope, I wanted to avoid that.
That's the thing. You are now moving through the sky and way, way faster than you did on top of Amadeus's disc. Speaking of Amadeus himself, all of a sudden, he goes whizzing past you while doing his best I'm Ezio impression. He is just face down, arms open wide, and falling through the sky at full speed, having abandoned his previous polymorph. And you see him fall, and pick up so much speed that for a moment there, it's kind of in question if he's going to be able to stop himself. You see a bright little flash, ding, just as he's about, I'll call it 100 feet off the ground. And he slows down and lands on a plaza.
As I see him, I go, show off.
All of a sudden, the water starts coming up at you quickly, and you break through the surface tension of the ocean, and you are underwater. Safe? Question mark. Before we continue with this part of the scene, we go back to our friend Murakon. Murakon, you've walked on down the stairs into the blood jar repository, which, well, it's pretty much as you left it. It seems that nobody has been here in this room for a while, but you can hear snoring coming from Horus's old room, where, with a quick peek, you're able to see, yep, that's the rat. He's there. The ghost of Horus materializes in front of you and goes, hey, it's good to see you again.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Yeah. It's been a hectic, really, really hectic road, but we're doing good, I guess. I need to get the pigeon back, and there is a lot of weird shit happening in that city.
I mean, weird is common. We kind of get used to it, but you look like something frazzled you. What did you see?
Have you ever seen kind of dogs that travel in shadows with yellow eyes and move between angles?
So, without doing a check, he says, "Oh yeah, I didn't think those would be a problem for you, though. They eat time travelers.
Hmm.
Those are the hounds of
Okay.
Tyndalos. They almost always come in groups of 3 or 4, and what you never ever want to do is fight them and leave one alive, or they'll find you again and they'll be bigger and meaner."
Okay, so the way back will be a great adventure to tell if I get to the other side.
But where
Because
did
I
you meet
just
them?
flee. Where I was coming here from,
Through the
I think it was
in the shadow.
Tanque, yeah, in the
No,
shadow.
in the shadows leave.
Yeah.
You see that his bird head does a particularly avian motion as he goes, clearly trying to think the problem through. That doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't have access to that dimension.
Well, now they do. And they're pretty good moving inside. I had a
Unsettling.
little hard time lost in them, but
Well, what I can tell you is that they hate anything that isn't angled. They don't like the jungle. You will always be at an advantage fighting them in the real world, provided you're not in a building.
oh,
So,
I think I got lucky then. I have
I mean,
to get
you're
out
alive.
of the shadow, and I was just circling a building. I just fly away, and they couldn't catch me. But it's good to know.
Well, the small ones can't fly. I don't know if the big ones can. I never fought one of those. But
Oh, they're big ones. Okay.
yeah, so just let me explain. If they always come at you in groups, but they don't like to die. So if you ever get the upper hand in combat, they will flee and call their older brothers. And if you get them, they will call their older brothers, and so on and so forth. They weren't really my sphere of influence, but old Jaguar herself, well, she didn't, it's not like she was a friend of the Empress, not really a friend of me, but we talked, and anyways, she said that she went on a trip with the One Eye this one time, and they got pretty big. Apparently, he had one about as big as a mountain following him. Old One Eye couldn't never turn down a good fight, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't have that luxury right now. Do you have any ideas of how can I dis- lose them easier in an easy way? Considering that
Trust.
now they can travel inside what?
Keep a bag of salt around you.
Okay.
Make sure that your friends know where you're going, and in worst case scenario, make a circle. But I do mean it. If nobody comes to rescue you from the circle, they will not stop. They don't actually need to eat. They don't need to drink. They don't need sunlight or darkness. They are beings of pure time and hatred. So you can always make a barrier they will not go through if you're good at making a circle in a pinch. But they will not leave. They must be made to.
Okay. That sounds like the old witches back in my town. But well, uh, I was sure I have another thing to ask you, but I probably will remember when I get back.
Well, the raccoon over there, he seems to... he hasn't woken up since he was brought here. Which is kind of worrying. It's like he's in a coma, but he's not dying. But he did say a
Right,
few
the
things
raccoon.
when we got him in. He was looking for a friend. Seemed quite handsome from the way he described him.
That's
He
probably
tells
me.
you, well, not that you aren't, but he describes to you a person who is tall, lanky, pale, and with long, curly silver hair. Definitely some kind of poet warrior type. Seems you came looking for him.
That rings my bell. I don't know.
No, you never had. You didn't.
No, it does.
You never had interactions. He never had interactions with Rick.
No, but what we're describing is that Rick spoke to Horace, what little he was able to speak, and he described a person which, without having to make an intelligence check, kind of reminds you of Virgil, the spirit trapped inside of the pyramid.
Oh. If he's looking, the person I think he's looking is not a person anymore.
Why was my life was so fucking weird? Why does my death also have to be? And he vanishes, done with the conversation. A bit too much even for the ghost. You do hear his voice echoing around in the darkness going, "Sorry to be a dick."
It's okay, man.
And with that, if you so desire, you may take the benefits of a long rest before nightfall, because your fast
Thanks.
travel does require the cover of darkness. You'll have to wait until sundown.
Yeah, I just have another question because I don't remember this raccoon. Do I have anything else to do with him? Do I have this good if I take him back with me? Or I just cling to the
Probably
notice
not.
about it?
Nothing comes to mind right away.
At the end of
Okay.
the thing is, I am the one who asked Shimmer to find him. So you don't know Rick. I do.
Yeah, you know him
Okay.
as a friend of the orc. He does look quite
Yeah,
cute.
I probably will leave it here then.
And with that, Amadeus has just landed in between a few buildings not too far from the harbor. And he has made a scene. 2 helots down at the ground, and one... Is that a fucking cactus that looks like a... It's a cactus person. Don't think about it. They look at you and they go, "Jesus fuck, man, that was a great eagle jump. You are a fucking badass. You should try yourself out in the eagle jumping finals."
Unmute yourself before you speak.
I look at them, I just wink and keep walking to the body.
Both the people and the cactus man go, "Ah!" and they swoon. Roll me whatever performance check you were going to do, just to see how the rest of the crowd takes it. Because I'll tell you something. You were noticed by the giant. You just gained some headway.
Okay, that's an 18.
With an 18,
Plus-
it's not just the people around
Wait.
you. How much?
Wait, plus 4. That's a 22.
Well, with a 22, it's not just the people, it's not just those 3 guys you just talked to. It's the crowd around you. They all seem to appreciate what you've done. Not in a, like, insane manner, but more like, oh, wait, is this a sport? Is this something people do here, just like high jumping? Well, you feel like a quarterback, and you're able to make your way out to the docks. Now, the people you meet at the docks are different from the rest of the Imperial population you've been walking through. The Imperials are a motley bunch. There's, helots, there's reborn at different stages of their journey with, flashy clothing and whatnot. These people are most definitely not Imperials. For one, they're all wearing what you would quite reasonably call battle slut wear. In that, well, they're all wearing leather armor, but for whatever fucking reason, they're all trying to show off like the cum gutters. Just like the things here. It's like showing off that everybody in that party is some kind of warrior. They're all very physically fit. You see that three of them are still fishing with what are clearly magically charged lures of some kind. But there's a small group of them gathered around the pudding-like remains of the last assassin. And look, man, a fireball doesn't leave a pretty corpse. A fireball and a 400-foot drop, even less so. But it's much like before. The smell of blood dice. These assassins were paid off in the hard currency. The good stuff.
I'm sorry, what? You got up.
These assassins were paid off in the hard currency. The good stuff. What are you gonna do?
First, an investigate. There's like nothing. Not even some of what the things they were wearing or anything.
I mean, of course, they were wearing, leather clothing, mostly like tight-fitting stuff meant to protect them in their role as light attackers. You think, with a good look at it, that this would have been the assassin out of the three, the one that tried to backstab Zurok. So the one that survived.
Okay, so the wizard. Okay, who was? Where is the person that was running towards the body? Where is it?
Who are you?
He's right behind you.
Okay.
You're looking at a man who is even taller than you as a reborn, to the point that it's kind of grotesque. Like it's clearly not. It's not a body made to live in. He is a tool. He's wearing minimal armor, a richly embroidered cape in purple and green with designs of snakes around it. His hair is fully shaved except for a thin mohawk going to the back. And as you're looking at his face, you just get the feeling that he's deeply, deeply sad. It's just sad.
Who are you?
I had the same question. Why are you following me?
There were deaths. This is my city.
And you are, sir?
Tutul. He says the name almost as if spitting it out, like he doesn't like it. Who is that on the ground?
Okay. That's a good question. That's what I'm trying to find out.
He smells the air.
I have the same smell, but it's not the same as I've seen before. It's different. Why is it different?
He takes one good look at you, sees the different markings that you've put upon your armor. I think my daughter has done something horrible.
Your daughter, what now?
Take the dice. Take
Okay.
it. I don't want to do what she said. And he turns around and walks away.
Wait, sir, hold on. Wait a minute, please. What do you
He
mean?
doesn't listen.
These people they came after me.
He looks around, looks up at you, looks down at you, and with the same sad expression goes, I know. And he jumps away.
So your daughter sent them? I keep going behind him. I follow him.
If you want to do that, you're going to have to roll something, because this motherfucker fast. You're fast,
Okay.
you're strong too, but this is a warrior type. You're still a wizard.
Okay. What do you need me to do?
Let's see. What is your movement speed? And do you have any way to cast flight on yourself?
I do.
do so.
Yeah. I have speed 30.
So even at a running speed, that means you're able to traverse up to 60 feet per round of movement. This guy's faster than you, but not so fast that he's going to lose you right off the bat. I'll say this, though.
Okay.
He is starting to make his way up the city. So he stops once and lets you catch up.
Mm.
I don't think you were at fault. I don't like the games of snakes. So ask your
The game's what? Sorry.
The games of snakes.
Mm-hmm.
So ask your question, please. What do you want to know?
So, I'm basically new here and I have a few questions. First one is, how come the Boa clan is in charge of the city so suddenly?
Because I killed the previous owner. In the summer.
And that was by your daughter's orders?
Yes.
So, can I ask what's your daughter's name?
Instrument. The word he says is agile jib, but you have some knowledge now of the local language. So what he says is instrument. And when he says that, he gets even sadder, if that's at all possible.
So your daughter is being used by someone else to do this kind of stuff?
It is the nature of a weapon to be wielded. Now go, before I make you go.
Would you like to rescue your daughter?
How can you rescue someone from the fate they've always wanted? Please do not pry. And if you ever feel strong enough, kill me. I'd appreciate it. He jumps away.
Well,
This time you know that he's heading in the direction of the police. So that's about as strictly as he can say fuck off without getting you into trouble. If you follow again, you might be noticed. You hear a
Jesus
loud
Christ.
splash behind you, and you know that the whale has gone into the water.
okay, so I guess to the water I go.
It's a short sprint to the beach. If you are you going to take an aquatic form, or are you going to dive?
I'm gonna dive.
Okay. Do you have a swim speed? I'll assume it's swim speed is usually a bit lower unless you're trained for it.
I don't know what's my swimming speed, to be honest. Oh, it should be easier for me to transform this simply.
Generally
Then,
speaking, yes. And
okay.
you pick an animal form. Is there any in specific that you're called to?
Let's go into a shark form.
Okay, there are several shark stat blocks available. I think at your level, something like Reef Shark or Mako is the more appropriate one. I'll look at that later. Because as you reach the edge of the docks, you jump into the air and transform. And you hear somebody go, "Wait, no, what the fuck are you doing?" It's coming from one of the fishermen. Because as you reach the surface of the water, in your new form, your eyes are able to see far further away than they generally would if you had remained as a baseline human. And it's hard to say what would have been better or a better mercy, because the water is full of monsters, of course.
Okay.
So at this point, Zurok and Amadeus, you're both in the same scene. You are able to see the Lady Branchia, the whale, swimming down, I'll call it 50, 60 feet down in the bay. Seems these waters are quite deep. But there are shapes moving in the water that remind you of some of the big lizards that you fought off in the ground. And there are crabs They're big crabs. They're about the size of, well, my computer screen. Have you seen it? It's a fucking thing like this. Except that they're not scuttling in these open waters. They are jetting around. It seems like they are able to propel themselves somehow, and they are fast. Gentlemen, we're going to roll initiative. Now, just to keep it simple, because this is not, or rather, how are we going to do this combat? Sure, as you are inside of the whale's mouth, you hear the voice of Ozar come to you, resonating through the whale's body. Avast! I need a hand up here. We're under attack. The fishermen have stirred up the waters. And you see a hand come in through the side of the teeth. It's Ozar, and he's doing like this motion. Like, somebody get here. Like, help.
All right, so I just grab his hand.
And once again, you go through the car wash and then get placed on the back of the whale, only to realize that the lady class is projecting a bubble of force around her. So you're able to stand right behind Ozar as he is with one hand holding a pair of reins, which you think he's being very careful with because you know it's a lady. You don't want to jank her about. And oh yeah, you guys are being followed by 3 plesiosaurs and about a score of crabs that move like jets through the water. Now, Amadeus, you also see a shark. Now, what does the shark do? Because
I wink at this.
Like they are the bigger target. You are currently not being attacked by anything, but you can see that the fucking dinosaurs are heading off for prey.
Okay, I don't know. I flirt with the with the shark. I'm keep going behind the lady behind the whale.
You are the shark. I mean, you flirt with yourself. We call that onanism around here.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking that there was another shark.
But if you want to do a charisma check for your lady benefactor, I'll allow you to do it with advantage because this is a shape that she finds more pleasing.
Okay, then I'll do it just for the fun of it. Oh, that's a 5 and a 3. I'm sorry.
You have never... I'm sorry. I know that I always end up making some kind of anus thing in these shows, but you are not hit by a whale's tail because that would probably kill you, but you suddenly feel what it's like to be caught in a bubble that is all fart.
Oh, fuck.
Turns out, shark sense of smell, not great. So, you guys are currently being chased by a group of monsters that I have stats for here. I just didn't get to make the map on time to make this battle more interactive. We can roll initiative or we can assign initiative since we're really quite simple here. I'm just going to be tracking the whale with Zorak and Ozar on it and you, Amadeus. So you guys can tell me, do you want to go first, second, or do you want to roll initiative?
I say we go first, second, for the sake of simplicity.
All right, so for first, I'm going to take you, Zorak. Here's what's going to happen. You see these enemies around you. There's a bunch of smaller crabs, which you think are going to hit really hard, and some bigger shapes that you don't want to get grabbed by. Now, you can either attack or you can prepare an action, because you know that they are faster than you.
So they have to get into the bubble.
They would have to get within melee range to strike you, yes. So it's, are you going to be a batter or are you going to be...
No, but what I'm thinking is that they would need to drop into the bubble.
Yes, indeed. You think that's more or less what they're going to do.
Okay, so more than a batter? I don't know. I guess I'm going to try to, like, slice them in the air as they fall.
Ooh, you want to put the katana in the way of the bullet? Shit, we can try that. We can try that. I'll call that a readied attack action. Okay?
All right.
Is there anything else that you want to do with your turn in preparation?
Let's see. Well, the thing is, I don't have the black lens anymore. I'm going to, of course, activate blur. And fuck, I don't know. I don't have a lot of tools.
Little else that can be done without me giving you a map to work with a little better. Sorry about that, fellas. I only just got my setup finished today. With that, we'll say that we move on to Amadeus's turn before I control the bad guys. Amadeus, what are you going to do?
They're moving in a flock?
Yes. So the 3 plesiosaurs are moving around sort of in a hunting pattern. The crabs are in a much more tightly packed sort of situation. The problem is, as a shark, you're not a druid. You can't do spellcasting. Not unless you
Yes, I can.
catch up and do some. How? Like, please give me one reason how you. Like, how? That has nothing to do with my house rules.
Okay.
Okay,
now,
fine, go.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna use my movement speed to move into the bottle. All right.
Okay.
As I come in,
Welcome, it's Case.
I'm gonna.
Thank you very much for your follow.
Okay.
Oh, that meets our goal of 60 people. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show. We play.
Thank you.
Sunday. We play this most Sundays, and quality will become better once I get my shit together. My life just exploded, and I had to move back in with my parents in another country. Stay tuned.
Thank you, guys.
Now, as you were saying,
Okay, so I'm gonna use its Casa. Hello, welcome. Okay, so what I do is I start swimming inside the bubble with a little spin as I get into the bubble, and I fall into the ground and fall. You know, like the hero's fall. Hero fall.
You land on your. You do a 3-point fall. You hear the.
Yeah, but that's gonna be after I do the spells without the without leaving the form. So there are 2 flocks. You're right. You said it.
Yes, you could call
one
the
is
2 different groups. They're more tightly packed together of the jet crabs and the spinning form.
You know, there are 2 things that I have. I have meta magic with subtle spells, which allows me to cast spells without the somatic component, which is how I'm going to cast while using the form. And I'm going to use Twin Spell, and I'm going to use my favorite spells of all the spells. It's going to be something that does a lot of noise more than damage, because in the end they're monsters. So I'm going to throw 2 fireballs. Yes, 2 fireballs. Magic fire. 1 to each flock.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. In the water, those fireballs wouldn't be able to do a lot of fire damage. But since you have meta magic at it, do you have the ability to change the
element? Yes.
Yes. So if you were to change them to electricity,
okay,
I would allow that to happen. Now, what damage is that going to do?
That's gonna be hold on. Fireball does, if I'm not mistaken, 66.
66s.
Fireball.
So I'm gonna say
8 d6s.
8 d6s.
8 d6s.
The fucking levels on you. So here's the thing. I know that by averages, this would kill the majority of these monsters if I had them tightly packed enough for it to actually get them. Now, you can roll the damage for flavor. Or actually, no, you do have to roll it because, unfortunately, electricity transmits really well in water, so the lady class is going to take some secondhand damage. Now, if
But wait, if she's surrounded by an air bubble, she's not taking damage.
I'll call that doing the roll with advantage. She's going to have to do a check. Is it a dexterity check?
Yes, sir. It is a dexterity check. So I'm gonna give you damage. So that's 6 plus 3, 9 plus 4. That's 13 plus 5. That's 19 plus 2, 21.
Anyone?
Plus 4. That's a 25.
Okay, so that would be the first of the two balls of lightning.
No, sorry. No, 2 dice is left. I just threw 6. Hold on.
Oh, you motherfucker. Roll your
Oh
dice.
boy! I just gotta show you this because the last 2 dice were 2 6. See.
So it's 25 plus 12, so that's a 37.
37.
Motherfucker.
Okay.
Bro,
Hey,
just
before
find a
you
fucking
say
abacus,
anything,
guy.
you gave him this character.
Oh no, I'm enjoying myself, remember. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's what happens. Due to electric damage vulnerability, this means that all of the jet crabs are dead. Now, dead doesn't mean not attacking. I'll explain that in a moment. The plesiosaurs, though, they are going to have to pass the check to take half damage, or they're all 3 going to die instantly, which is terrifying to me. Out of the 3, 2 are dead immediately. Unfortunately, Lady Brankia failed both. So she takes a whopping 74 points of damage, which in her human form would have been enough to kill her 3 times over. In this form, she's got 5 points of HP left. And this is the terrifying bit. As you light up the underwater sky, 2 of the gigantic tyrannosaurs do a movement that is too fast. Clearly, like their muscles spasming so fast that their bones break against the pressure of the water around them. The majority of the crabs completely stopped moving, but at least 2 of them got so superheated that the inside of their bodies projecting the water has made them pick up speed. One of them failed to hit, like widely. I rolled a 1. The other one rolled a 20. So it is actually up to you, Zurok, to hit this. It's going to be an... I don't want to make this an attack check because you're trying to put your sword in the exact right place if you're going to cut the bullet. So you tell me if you want this to be something to do with your perception, your reflexes, or your constitution if you're going to take the bullet. Because if it hits your ride, you won't
Constitution,
just see, your enemy's
'cause-
blood in the water.
Can I jump and catch it mid-air?
I'll allow it.
In
It'll
ball
be a
in.
constitution check
Fell
if
him.
you throw yourself in the way. You will still take some
Bro,
damage. But
I'm gonna go get some coffee. This is getting good.
So what do I need to roll?
I need you to roll me a constitution saving throw. Yeah, it's a constitution saving throw, difficulty 22. Should you fail it, I'll allow you to take the entirety of the damage in place of the lady.
Can I use the second wind for bonus ability on saving throws? It is a constitution, a physical thing.
I think so.
All right.
Does that apply as advantage or does it give you a bonus?
15 plus 7.
My boy nailed it. There is a sound like whizzing bullets as hard-shelled bodies just grip the water around you. There is a storm of electricity. There are pools of blood which cloud the waters up to far away. And then Zorak does something stupid or brave. Hard to say. You make a jump with your arms spread wide, and then something like a sharp truck hits you in the center of your chest. It's hard to say if it's a testament to your constitution, the quality of whatever was left of your armor, but you yourself don't take damage. Instead, you get sent back rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. You feel like your neck is going to come off of your shoulders because you're not in air. Turns out water applies resistance, but then you are in air. You have somehow managed to catch the jet football crab, reduce enough of its momentum that it stops being a lethal round of ammunition, and fall back into the bubble. For those who are inside, there is a sudden moment of silence, and it smells like delicious crab legs.
I look at him and I say, I look at Zurg and I say, badass and a cook. God damn, brother.
So I go like this. I lift the thing, kind of shaking, and go,
Dinner.
And before we end for today, we're just going to travel back to our erstwhile companion. Murakan, it is now nightfall. Yes, Corpalomus is still asleep because the back trick continues to work. You'd be worried if he wasn't snoring so loudly. Horus is there. Where are you? So the ritual that you do in order to traverse the shadows quickly is digging a hole in the ground in the shape of an arrow, pouring some of your now infused blood into it, and at that point, it's actually up to Jin. Last time that you did this, he just threw himself into the dug arrow, and then you were pulled along, and all of a sudden you were sharing each other's bodies, and you were underwater. Nini Everdrew, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I'm afraid that we will probably be finishing today soon, but
we can take a moment after we're done to give like a quick concept explanation for
please.
those who are new.
Introduce yourself, guys.
I'll be happy.
You already know me. Hi, Nini.
Hello.
So, you've drawn your pit. Jin is with you. How are you gonna do this?
Okay. First, there is no way to force an elf to get back to their animal form. I ask Horus.
Well, it would be quite specific to each person most of the time, but you could also just try to trigger as many of their animal instincts at once. He's already asleep, but if you put some real bird food in front of him immediately after waking up, he might turn back into a pigeon.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. If that doesn't work, I'm just going to have to carry that bullshit inside the Underdark. But
well, what kind of bird food are you gonna get? Well, I mean,
I don't know what the fuck
don't
those
judge me for
pigeons
this, but when
eat.
I was alive, I was sort of a small game hunter, but there was more than one time I survived off of grubs, mealworms and the like. And those tend to grow very well in places where there's a lot of rot. So you could go into one of them mushroom circles and see what you can scrounge. Find a tasty bug.
This fucking pigeon, I wish I could just slash it and take it into pieces. I've tried to find some of the frog guys.
Oh, the frog tribe is nowhere to be seen at the moment.
I have to do it myself for them.
You
I
know
go
where one of these
through.
circles are. You're not going to have a hard time
Yeah.
finding one. This one, maybe 100 yards beyond the tree line of the village. You make your way
Yeah,
there.
the thing is, I didn't want him to leave the village at night, but
Well, it's not too far. You don't lose sight of the torches that are lit or the sound of legionnaires farting in their sleep. So you make your way over to the mushroom circle. While you're standing there, I mean, sure, it's disconcerting. This many species don't usually grow close together. Clearly are feeding on something, and you know that it's probably the spiritual waters of Nasser under the village edge. But there's something niggling at the back of your consciousness. Now, I know that you have great passive perception. You could try to use your senses to see what this is, or you could try to roll wisdom. You want to interrogate the
survival.
part of your mind feeding you this
He
information.
has
Survival would also
and
work.
and you have advantage on survival.
That's right. In this area, you know the plants, you know the lay of the ground. It's becoming your home in a way.
so I can roll this with advantage.
Yes.
Okay. That's a 17. The higher one is a 17 plus survival. That's a 22.
Take a look around. Take a look up. Look down. You get to one knee and use your hard claws to scrabble at the ground, removing a few mushrooms out of the way. Yeah, you find some insects. You find some delightful large grubs. Even a very fat-bodied one with a black head to it. But it's not the insects what calls to your mind. You'd never learned this like consciously because you weren't trying to learn it, but by now you kind of have enough examples of how the jungle's roots grow on top of each other and around each other, and how the different species of trees, because there's only so many fucking trees that you can see.
Yeah.
You know what the forest floor should look like. It should definitely, and also that mushrooms, when you see them growing, what you're actually seeing is just the smallest part of it. They're all supposed to be like strings connected underground. But you're pretty sure that these many different species should not all be feeding the same hypha, the same strings. And you're also sure that the strings should not be gently glowing green. But they are.
Oh shit.
Other than that, no smell of corruption attacks you, no beast comes out to you. The nighttime
Can I take a
noises of the
sample?
jungle. Yes. You're able to grab a few pieces of hypha. The actual mushroom, not the pieces that are outside, but the strings underneath. Roll it up into a ball, put it into a little leather satchel, and take it with you.
Yeah.
When you get back to your camp, you find your pigeon man. Roughly take off his hood. He wakes up briefly. You put the grub in front of him, and you see his eyes widen like a little kitten around to attack. And all of a sudden, poof, there is a fat pigeon wearing a small tunic there, and he attacks the bug.
Nice. Hans started to fit.
Yeah.
I just put the veil over his head again.
You just put the whole pigeon inside of the bag.
Yeah.
Take him with you. And then
Okay.
Jin comes
I
around
need
your
to
shoulders
find-
and goes, "Ready, boss?"
Just give me a second, buddy. This weird shit happening around the jungle. I need someone to keep looking at this.
All right.
I find order to show him the samples. This is what is growing below the mushrooms. And there's too many different species connected to this thing. That shouldn't be normal. They're feeding from the water. The thing is green, weird green glow.
Many different species together, feeding a single source?
Yeah,
I don't know about you, dragon friend, but that sounds like a city to me. And a
a
city
city.
must have a government of some kind. Maybe even a king. Who knows? It's not my
So,
specialty. I build things.
do you have anyone in your team that knows a little more about the botanics around here?
Not around here, no. But up in Tanky, you can absolutely go and ask a druid. Find a hanging garden. There's bound to be some kind of plant specialist there.
Hanging garden. Okay, I make sure to get that. There is no way I can leave something to you to contact me, but try to do so on her parents get out, please. We're probably going
right.
to need them as well.
We'll try to figure out some kind of sending spell, if at all possible. I imagine the old bird-head ghost can probably teach somebody here how to do that.
Yeah,
Godspeed, mate.
I'll go. I'm
May your heart
going
be with
to
the
leave right
Empress.
now.
And so you make your way back to your pit in the ground, place yourself roughly in the direction that you want to go, and Jin extends from you, growing larger into the darkness of the night, and as if you were being pulled by a stream of water, drop into the shadow sleeve. You're not certain if what you hear is the baying of the Angle hounds or the praying of the small. And with that, we end today's session. I'm sorry that I didn't
Okay.
have a good action set piece for you today, brother.
No, man, it's okay. It's okay. I don't think Morgan is ready to fight those things against yet.
And I didn't want to give you something fully improvised. I had a good situation prepared for the other side, but I didn't get to the point of making my maps. So that's where we're going
All
to
right.
close today's session.
So before we go, let's do some explaining and introductions to our new viewers.
Let's see, who do we have with us? We have Itsukaze, Nini. Pleasure to meet you all. My name is Moon. That's where we'll keep it for today. This is the game that we run here every Sunday called ORO. It's a Dungeons and Dragons show, or traditional game show, a traditional role-playing game, which is a set of rules meant to help you and your friends to tell a good and compelling story. It can include things such as battles and social encounters and simulations. Oh, Jesus! Sorry, my brain may not be working at a hundo. Could you
May I?
find the words for me, Zurok?
Sure. So, guys, real simple. We are playing our own, well, not own, our dear K Moon created the universe we are playing in. This is a universe with several new factions. If you have played Dungeons and Dragons before or any RPG, please let us know. But our system, created by K Moon, exists in a world at the end of possibilities. It's a realm that exists as a single planet with a single continent around a single sun. And people from other universes die and can arrive into this world. Now, we are playing... Exactly. Not everyone that dies arrives here. It's some people. Now, the campaign we are playing is called The Pyramid of the Dead Gods. It's centered around a town that is being built next to a black pyramid. In this pyramid are the corpses of the gods of this world, for they are dead. There's a long explanation for that.
They were murdered.
We are
He was a samurai.
currently...
He was very cool. We all think.
Yeah, again, that is back lore that we don't have time to get into. We are trying to not only help this settlement develop, but we're also right now not in the town. We're in a different city. At least my character and Amadeus's character are. We're trying to uncover many things, among which is right now rescuing a group of people from a box that they are trapped in. Now, let's go for the character introductions. I play. So here in the chat and on Twitch, I go by Ghostmaker141, and I play Zurok. Zurok is a half orc who, in his original world, because he is not from here, was born in prison, born and raised in a prison, a little prison, and he grew up a criminal. He died.
Along the line, just to connect to one of our other friends, somewhere along the line in his long and storied history as a criminal, the tables were turned, and that night he was the caravan guard instead of the robber on the field. And the party of people that attacked the caravan he was guarding happened to have between them a certain dragonborn named Murakan. And so that's how our two heroes first met, when, upon this pitched battle, Zurok cut off Murakan's head. So that's the story of how he came here.
So yeah, my character has, the kinds of traits you would find in someone who was born a criminal. But in this world, he's trying to live a different life. Now, Murakan, can you please introduce your character?
Sure. Well, I go by Sam Phoenix, but play Murakan. He's a Dragonborn, exiled from his tribe, just because he was a little more of a dick than a dragon. But after that, he lives his life a Dickenborn. After that, he lives his life like a mercenary, dealing with all kind of jobs, the regular and the dirty ones. And just happens that that last one job was a bad trip. Well, he's lost his head, literally.
Of the other people that are with us, we're not playing words, please. Sorry, people, I am off my medication and thus only using about a 30% of the total brain power that I possess. But speaking of brain power, the last member of our party tonight is our wizard Amadeus de Corinthia, who arrived in this world a wizened old man after an experiment.
Let him talk. Let him talk. Let him introduce himself.
I'll allow
Let
him
him
to
cook.
say. Tell us who you are, sir.
Well, I'm a 900-year-old half-elf who already died twice. Yeah, twice. Died, came to this world after a failed
And die
experiment,
again.
and in this world died of a heart attack. Got reborn, got fucking huge, strong, and he's trying to redeem himself from the fact that he killed, by mistake, his granddaughter.
Yeah, everyone in this party have a big, big issue with living a normal life.
Yeah.
It's almost as if you were pulled into some kind of not purgatory in order to learn a lesson. Oh my. There's
Oh.
something about it. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I created this world about a year and change ago for a campaign that we were running with a friend who is now departed. And the quality of what we do here varies, but that's mostly my own fault. My situation has been quite fluid recently, but I can only ever do one thing, which is promise you better every time. And I hope you can take that with you. And I hope you believe it. I hope I can count on you.
We have, please, if you want, if you like what we are doing, please, first and foremost, try to show up every Sunday because we're doing this the best we can. And if you think it's worth it, if you know people who may like it, please let them know that we are streaming so our community may grow into an actual community. And we can make a living out of this.
It sure would be fantastic. Of course, there's a long way to go until we can compete with some of the titans of the industry, but I believe we can do it. I believe in the Avatar angle. Sorry, wrong discourse. What I'm saying is our shit's good. So with that, and before I smell any more of my own farts, we're gonna close today's session. I love you, boys. No level ups today. Maybe next time. See you around.
Next time I'm going to stop to fight the fucking angled dogs. You're gonna see. You're gonna have to give me a level up for that.
If you're able to kill the trio, yeah. If you're able to kill the next one, I'll give you 3 levels all in one go. I know you won't. All right, my friends.
Fuck.
I fucking love y'all. Take
Have
care
a good
of
Sunday,
yourselves,
everyone.
and see you next
See ya, guys.